ERi-TV news broadcast crew and I, Delit Sahaya, are now ready for your daily news briefing at 10:30 local time. But first, let us catch up with the major headlines. President Isaias holds talks with Vice Admiral Vladimir Kasatonov. A meeting focusing on eliminating harmful practices held in northern Red Sea region. Turkey withdraws from Treaty of Conventional Armed Forces in Europe. And Mexico cuts diplomatic ties with Ecuador after George Glass' arrest. On our local news, President Isaias Afwerki engaged in an extensive discussion with Vice Admiral Vladimir Kasatonov, Deputy Commander-in-Chief of the Russian Navy, at the State House yesterday, 5th April. The meeting aimed to build upon their initial talks in the port city of Massawa, focusing on enhancing the existing relationship between the two nations. The discussion was attended by General Philip Oswald Johannes, Chief of Staff of the Eritrean Defense Forces, Major General Ramadan Usman Auliai, Commander of the Eritrean Defense Forces Training Center, Ambassador Zamedet Takhle, Commissioner of Culture and Sports, and Mr. Igor Mozgo, the Russian Federation's ambassador to Eritrea. During their preliminary meeting in Massawa, President Isaias Afwerki and Vice Admiral Vladimir Kasatonov explored into the potential for strengthening bilateral relations as established during the African-Russia Summit in St. Petersburg. The discussion in St. Petersburg, held last July, covered a wide range of cooperation areas including infrastructure, energy, mining, agriculture, marine resources, and defense and security. The Russian delegation, headed by Vice Admiral Vladimir Kasatonov, concluded their successful official meeting to Eritrea and returned home today, 6th April. The committee dedicated to safeguarding children's rights in Northern Red Sea region held a pivotal meeting on 3rd April at eradicating harmful practices, in particular emphasis on female genital mutilation and the child marriage that adversely affect the physical and psychological well-being of women. During the session, attendees were extensive briefing on the significance and historical context of children's rights, adherence to guidelines for protecting these rights, international agreements related to children's welfare, and the specific rights of children and women under the Eritrean legislation. Despite the noticeable progress from ongoing awareness campaigns in mitigating these detrimental customs, there remains an urgent for intensified efforts to completely abolish these enduring practices. Participants unanimously advocated for continued and enhanced awareness initiatives aimed at enlightening the community and enforcing legal actions against those infringing upon the established guidelines. Mr. Razana Fisaha, the chairman of the committee, highlighted the significant strides made towards reducing incidents of FGM and child marriage. He underscored that necessity for a unified and concentrated approach to fully address and eliminate these harmful practices. Dear viewers, we'll be back with the international news shortly. Just stay tuned. Welcome back. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan signed a decree on Turkey's withdrawal from a treaty on conventional armed forces in Europe. The decree was published on the unofficial newspaper of the Turkish government, Resmi Gazeti. The decree stated that this was decided to suspend the implementation of the agreement between Turkey and other countries participating in the CFE treaty, in accordance with the presidential decree from April 8th. The CFE treaty was signed on November 19, 1990 in Paris and ratified by the Turkish government on July 1st, 1992. This document limits a number of conventional weapons and equipment of 5 main categories of armed forces of 30 countries. Also, it provides for information exchange and inspections. It is noted that Turkey made this decision due to the increase in international tensions. Turkish media citing diplomatic source reported that, according to Ankara, the CFE treaty has lost its meaning in current conditions and obligations assumed by it are not actually being fulfilled. At the same time, however, this is noted that the decision to suspend this fulfillment of the obligation provided by the CFE treaty can be reversed. On our last news, Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador said they have forcibly entered the embassy in barefaced violation of international laws. Glass took refuge in the embassy last December after Ecuador issued an arrest warrant against him for alleged corruption. Glass's lawyer said he was innocent. Glass served as Ecuador's vice president between 2013 and 2017. He was relieved of his duties because of the mounting corruption allegations against him. He was released from prison in November, but Ecuadorian authorities then issued another arrest warrant alleging further allegations of corruption, triggering Glass to seek refuge in the Mexican embassy. On Friday, Mexico said it has granted Glass political asylum after a thorough analysis of the situation and action Ecuador views as illegal. Dear viewers, we've come to the end of tonight's news. Let's have a quick recap of the headlines. President Isaias holds talks with Vice Admiral Vladimir Kasatonov. Meeting on focusing on eliminating harmful practices held in the Northern Red Sea region. Turkey withdraws from Treaty of Conventional Armed Forces, Europe. Mexico cuts diplomatic ties with Ecuador after George Glass's arrest. That is all with our local and international news. Dear viewers, thanks for watching and have a good night.